Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mike. I own 66 Unique Antiques, and today we're going to do a little Q&A, viewer question and answer, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be a lot of fun. We've been getting questions in on our past videos, so I want to take some time to answer a few questions. Obviously, we're making a little series out of this, so we have a lot of great people out there that want to know how to get into the reselling game. Are antiques still a thing? I mean, we're here to answer any and all questions. We're all about passing knowledge along to the rest of the people. I mean, everything I've learned over decades plus of being in this business, we want to pass along to you guys. We want everybody to make money doing this. Keep the antiquing world alive. So let's start off today with my good old question and answer here. Number one, from Amber out in Michigan, wants to know, what is your dream item you hope to find, or something that you've been chasing for a long time? Now, me personally, you guys have seen my collection. I'm a huge video game collector, 80s, 90s memorabilia kind of stuff. But you really don't come across that stuff yet. My time is coming probably in the next 10 to 20 years when that generation starts to get rid of some of that stuff. So the stuff I chase for is really not there yet. But if I was to come across like a collection of in-box Nintendo games, like a large collection of, in-box Nintendo games would be really cool. Because that's the hard part anymore, is nobody saved the boxes on their old video games. They always threw the box away, kept the cartridge, which, I was the same way. So I guess that would be my dream item, would be to come across like a large video game lot. Store-wise, we've come across some pretty cool things. I've come across large coin collections that were very valuable. But again, to me, it's not really about the value. So I guess if you talk about like chasing items, it's not about like chasing value, because to me, we're a family, and me and Amber both are people that money does not mean a lot to us. What means a lot to us is like history, connections, people. Getting stuff in the right places in this business is really important to us. So if I was to buy like $100 storage unit that belonged to somebody else, or a family member, and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe all this. We've done it before. We've literally returned storage units to families that, their aunt passed away and they, lost the unit. That means more to us. So, doing that means a lot. So money and value doesn't mean too much. So when it comes to like something like our dream item, I guess that'd be kind of cool. Something personal that I like would be, those video game lots would be a lot of fun. So amongst many other things we do chase for, don't get me wrong. Amber would love to come across a vintage Christmas collection or a vintage Halloween collection of just 40s and 50s and 60s Halloween and Christmas decor. That would really just, she would be on cloud nine. I wouldn't have to do anything for her for years, because that would mean a lot to her. So yeah, those are just a few of the things that we collect. I know we have large collections, but to come across something like that would be so cool. It would mean a ton to me, just because that was my childhood. So, all right, so let's get on to number two. Number two comes from Joe. Joe wants to know, what do you do with inventory that does not sell? Joe, very good question. What we do with inventory that doesn't sell, we mark it down as far as we can, where we still make money. And then after a while, if it sits on the shelf for a year, it's not worth anything anymore to us. Honestly, if we pay $20 for something and we try to get 40 bucks out of it, and it sits on the shelf for a year, we drop it to 30, still don't get nothing out of it. We send stuff out to a lot of online auctions. We have a few, like 3 or 4 in our area that run online auctions and in-person auctions. So we run it out to there. And a lot of times too, if you follow us on Facebook, we've had actually times where we take tables and put tables out in front of our store and put free. And just, hey, anybody wants to come get this stuff, just come get it. Whatever you don't take is either going to go to an auction or, wherever we find a place to give it to. I mean, we usually give it to like the Habitat for Humanity or something like that. Or sometimes if we just don't care about it, we'll give it to Goodwill, because, if it's no one's buying it, no one's taking it for free, they can take it and, try to make a couple bucks off it, I guess. So yeah, that's what we do with our inventory. Like I said, there's plenty of things you can do though. Facebook Marketplace, I mean, just because it doesn't sell in our store doesn't mean it can't sell. It just means we're not very patient with our stuff either. So I guess that's a problem. It can be a problem sometimes, but we always want new, fresh things in the store. So if it doesn't sell right away, it's one of those things where we're like, hey, let's get it out of here. Let's move it on to something else, because that gives us more money to go buy more new things. So yeah, I would say online auctions is probably the number one thing we do, is we give it out to them. And then if not, we do our free tables at the store just to get rid of it. So like I said, follow us on Facebook. You never know. We have a lot of great stuff that we've given away for free, just because, again, like I told you before, money is not the main drive for us. It's sometimes just getting the pieces to people and making memories for other people as well. That means a lot to us. So, all right. Hopefully that answers your question, Joe. On to the next question. I think Joe had a double question, so we're going to call this as the third question. Joe wants to know, is it appropriate to offer a lower price than marked at an antique store? Now, I know a lot of antique shops are going to have a different opinion than I do on this. We are in the reselling business. So if your margins are not good enough where you can afford to lower your price by 20 or 30%, you are not buying correctly. We are not ones that want to buy something for 100 to sell it for 120. That's just not worth it to us. So when we buy something for 10 bucks, hopefully we're trying to get $30 to $40 out of it. And when we do that, that allows us to mark stuff down or take offers from people as well. We're not Walmart. We're not Myers. Myers is a Midwest store. So I hope you guys don't, if you're from farther away, you wouldn't know that, I guess. But we're not your Walmarts, your Targets. We're not places like that. We understand that people want to get deals. I mean, you would be shocked. The number one thing people look for when they walk into booths, or I guess you wouldn't be shocked, is they look for a discount. Are you running a discount? 10, 20% off, 30% off? I mean, everybody wants a deal. So if your margins aren't good enough to offer a deal to somebody, you're not buying correctly. So what we do is I think it's great. I don't encourage it. I mean, because sometimes the price is good enough where I don't think you need to make a better offer. I don't offer a lot on stuff. I really don't. For me, if I know it's a good price, I'll pay the good price. If it's $10 and I know I can make 40 off of it, I'm not going to offer them 5. That to me is just not appropriate for one. And for one, you got to remember, these guys are trying to make a business out of this too. So as long as your offer is appropriate and you're not finding a $300 item and offering them 50 bucks, I absolutely encourage you to make offers because you never know. There are so many vendors out there that want to move stuff and make profit and make money and start, going out to buy more stuff. So I always encourage to make offers. The worst anybody can say is no. And you move on and then you say, hey, no big deal. We move on and, either you pay the price or you find something else. If they want to make the sale, they'll definitely consider your offer. So definitely make offers. Please do. Nothing price should ever be firm in an antique store. We're all resellers. It's not like we're buying antiques from a wholesale company. I mean, these antiques are antiques for a reason. They're secondhand. They've been passed down for years and years and years. So please, make offers if you want to. If you don't see a price, don't be scared to, either buy it for the full price or at least make an offer. Don't just pass it up because you're scared they won't listen to your offer or they won't take your offer. So yes, we do encourage, please make offers. So Joe, thank you very much for the question. All right, so on to our fourth question today. We got this from Jessie out in Oklahoma. She wants to know, is there money to make in antiques anymore? Jessie, come on. Of course there's money to make in antiques anymore. We've been doing this for over a decade. We are awesome. We are going really, really well. I mean, me and my wife, we don't work anywhere else. Our job is the antique store. So is there money to make in antiques? Absolutely. Does it take work? Absolutely. It's just like anything, owning your own business. We have multiple streams of revenue that we run through the store, being it through online sales. We run a booklet that also advertises antique shops. We run our antique store. We run online auctions. We don't run online auctions, but we sell through auctions as well. I mean, you have to have multiple revenue streams, especially if you're running your own business. I mean, so for us, is there money to make in antiques? Yeah, there is a lot of money to make in antiques. Being you're like, oh, nobody buys antiques. That's what we always hear too. Nobody buys antiques. Come visit our store, you guys. I'm telling you, we are busy all the time. Plenty of people are out buying antiques. And stop using the word antiques like it's a swear word or it's a cuss word or it's this bad word. It's not. Guys, antiques change. People look for stuff. I look at it, it's more like a nostalgia store. People call it a junk store. People call it a thrift store, an antique store, whatever you want to call these. It's a nostalgia store. People buy and go to antique stores for nostalgia. You're not going there to buy your groceries. You're going there to buy something that you want. And usually people want nostalgia. We're gonna have a video coming up here at some point. It's all gonna be about nostalgia. That is the most thing that drives our business. And it's always gonna drive our business. Which means these businesses are gonna be around for a long, long time. If you're like, oh, all the antique stores in our area are closed. They're closed because they didn't change to nostalgia and change with the times. You can't try to sell stuff that, people are already passed away that they collected. You have to go into the newer generation of people and what they're collecting. So you got to get into that 70s, 80s, 60s, 50s kind of decor, the retro, vintage decor, mid-century modern, records, 80s, 90s toys, video games, more video games, better out there. Come on, people. But yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to change with the times. We're in our late 30s, early 40s, and we are very much on the pulse of what is important and not important in our business, what can sell and what can't sell. I've turned down so many things that just don't sell, and I feel bad because it doesn't sell anymore. So the value that used to be, hundreds of dollars is now tens of dollars. And it's a tough business for some people that don't change with the times. So is there money to make in antiques? Absolutely. I could make a video that's probably 30 minutes long telling you everything that you should be going out there doing to make money in this business. Having a storefront, having vendors, reselling. I mean, there's so much you could talk about. I mean, please ask all the questions you want to. I can answer any and everything on why this is a great business to get into, why it's important to get into, and how you can make a lot of money in this business, even though, again, that's not the main point of the business, in my opinion. My point is, getting the stuff to the people where it belongs, getting and putting memories with people, taking, quick story. We just had a lady in the other day that her parents passed away, all within about 3 or 4 months of each other. They were, in their 80s or 90s. And all she cared about, she didn't want the memories that she had with the items to go to the dump. She didn't want the memories to go away because she attached the memories to the items when she really doesn't understand is that the memories are in you. The item is something that you look at and makes it seem like that's the memory. That's not the memory. The memory is there without the item. So all she cared about is she wanted the items to go to somebody to make new memories like she had. And that's so important. I mean, and that's what we love to do. And that's what we did. We grabbed so many of her items and we told her they're going to go to a great home because they are. Everybody that comes in our store cherishes these items. They want these items back in their possession as well. And they're going to make new memories with them. And man, it brought a tear to her eye because she was just like, it made knowing that her mom's stuff is going to go on to somebody else and make it even that much better. And know the memories are going to live on for somebody new. So yes, there's absolutely money to make in antiques. If you guys want another whole video about that, I could give you a ton of more information on why there's money in antiques. So, all right, let's get on to the last question of the day. Now, this last came from Roger out in Florida. Roger, appreciate you. Best advice for a new reseller, just getting into the business. Give me your best advice. Roger, let me talk to you. Best advice I can give a reseller. Guys, I just grabbed this paper, wrote down all the questions I got, and picked it up. So let me kind of sit here for a second. All right, best advice for a reseller. Be consistent. Don't be lazy. It's your own business. It's a small business, guys. And when you work for yourself, you have to work. It's not a normal 9-to-5 job. You have to be consistent. You have to hustle. You have to get out there and put the footwork in and put the work in to make the money. I mean, that's just what it is. If you're worried about, I can work for myself, I can get up at noon, I can, go to bed at 2 in the morning and I don't have to do much. I don't have to work the weekends. You are not going to last in this business. Guys, I work Monday through Monday. We don't get days off, and the days off are just doing home stuff, that you guys normally do on any other day. There is no time off in this business. This business is nonstop all the time, taking phone calls, networking. That's a huge thing as well. So I'm actually going to answer your question with a couple of answers, honestly. Consistency and hustling, networking, get your name out there to everybody and let everybody know what you do. You're in there to buy to resell. Okay, great. Get your name out to everybody. So when everybody's wondering, what do I do with this junk I have? And it's not junk. Doesn't Roger, man, doesn't he do it? Doesn't he sell some stuff and buy and resell? Oh, yeah. My buddy Roger, he knows, yeah. I'm telling you, networking is huge. Let everybody know what you do. Have business cards made up. So we got consistency, we got hustling, we got networking. What else would I do if I was a new reseller? Honestly, I would say that's the 3 most important things. Again, go back through. Hustle, which means you got to work nonstop. It's going to be 7 days a week, guys. We are just starting now to actually take a day. We have a worker now on Thursdays. One worker. And it took us 10 years to get to that point. And Dave works there. He's a great guy. But that's literally now it's kind of like, okay, we kind of have a day, but that day is now we can go out to estate sales. So, I mean, we still work. We're just not in a store. So, hustling, super important. Get out there, grind, buy, sell. Turn those $5 into $15. Turn those $10 into $20. A dollar into $10. It starts small and grow and just build. And all of a sudden, before you know it, you're gonna be buying $75 items to make $400 off of them. I mean, you got to grow. You got to start somewhere, but you got to be on to our next thing is consistent. You got to keep going. If you're going to open a business, you got to be consistent with your hours, consistent with your work, consistent with your work ethic, consistent with your customer service. You can't be nice one day. You know, how many times I've gone to the store just not in the best of moods, just because either, whatever the reason may be. You still got to be 100% to every customer that walks in the door. I mean, we have 4.8 ratings on Google and Facebook, and guys, we offer the best service. Even though if you think we're happy and joyful, 24/7, that's just not normal. It's not the way it is. But you always got to portray that to your customers and making sure they're taken care of and they're happy. That again goes to the word of mouth. It helps out with well. And then the last thing we talked about, of course, was networking. I kind of explained that. Getting your name out there, making friends, letting friends know what you do. Making friends from friends, knowing who buys and what they buy, knowing that is super important. You find out you have a Roseville pottery person, guess what? Every time you find Roseville, you have somebody that's going to give you information while also having somebody that's going to probably be able to buy stuff from you as well. So that's something that's very, very important too, is knowing people that are also in the business and what they collect and what they look for, and maybe they know a buyer for certain things. We have a huge booklet at the store full of business cards, full of them. And it's just our huge network of something comes in. Coleman Lanterns come in. I know to call a guy out in Hastings. I have pottery coming in. I know to call a guy all down in Battle Creek. We have sports cards come in. I know I got a guy in Charlotte that I can call. I mean, guys, it's just, that's how it goes. You have to do all that. Owning a business is what you're trying to do. You're trying to be a reseller. It's a business. So treat it like a business, take care of it, and you're going to flourish just like everybody else in this business hopefully does, doing the same work ethic. So, all right, guys, that's our Q&A for today. We've gotten plenty more questions to come. Just getting time to do these videos for you guys is very important. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, if you guys want to like, subscribe, comment, share, it's all great stuff, but never, it's always appreciated, but never expected. So really appreciate you guys watching these videos. There's plenty more to come. We got some estate sale battles coming up, daughters and drivers training. So that's taking up a lot of time driving back and forth for that. So trust me. Videos coming up, guys. Appreciate you guys all watching these. Hope you guys get some information you like. Please flood those comments with any questions you might have for us about anything, antiquing, reselling, owning your own business, being a vendor in an antique store. You name that question, I will 100% have an answer for it. So fill up those comment sections, guys. Appreciate you watching. If you guys want to come out and talk to us and maybe ask us a question in person, feel free to do that too. You guys can stop out and get your antique fix on M66. See you guys later.